Hello my crafty friends, today I'm going to show you how to sew a hidden zipper pocket, just like this one. The perfect way to add a sleek and secure storage to any bag. In my last video I showed you how to hack your favorite bag pattern to include this type of pocket. If you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check it out. But for now, grab your supplies, get comfy at your sewing machine, and let's get started. To make your pocket, you will need to cut one top panel from external fabric, one pocket from external fabric and your lining fabric, and lastly one pocket lining from your lining fabric. You will also need one zipper. I'm using number 5 continuous zipper today. To find the correct length of your zipper, simply take your pocket piece and measure the width of your pocket along the top edge. So depending on what type of project you are making, the size of your bag, backpack, the length of your zipper will be different. So the best way is to simply take your pocket and measure the width along the top edge. Begin by pressing your zipper, especially if, like me, your zipper is a little bit wavy. You always want to start with a nice crisp zipper, because the zipper sometimes tends to get out of shape, stretch a little bit, and then when you finish sewing your pocket you end up with a wonky and wavy zippers. So the best way is to start by pressing it. Now you can take your external pocket and place your zipper on top. First, decide which direction you want the zipper to open once your project is constructed. Then place your zipper facing down and line it up along the top edge. So what you want to do is to line up those two edges and clip them together. Just like that. Then you can take this to the machine and baste your zipper about 2 millimeters from the edge. Now you can take your lining piece and place it on top. So you want to make sure right sides are facing each other. You are basically sandwiching the zipper between those two pieces. So line up the edges and then clip the lining along the top edge, just like we've done before. Here we go. When you are ready, you can take this to the machine and sew the seam. Remember to use the seam allowance that you decided to add to your pattern. So I'm using 7 millimeter seam allowance whenever I'm sewing a zipper, but if you've added a different seam allowance, make sure to sew the seam using correct seam allowance. Now that you have the seam stitched, you can take your pocket to the pressing station, separate your pieces, so flip the lining out of the way and press the seam allowance to one side. So I'm going to press the seam allowance towards the lining. Here we go. Then bring your pieces wrong sides together and press the seam nice and flat. After that, you can take this to the machine and top stitch along that finished seam. Now you can take your pocket lining and place it behind the pocket, just like that. So the lining pieces are facing each other. Line it up along all sides and then clip everything together. Here we go. When you are ready, take this to the machine and baste everything together around all 4 sides. Now you can take your top panel, and what you want to do is to simply fold under the placket and press it nice and flat. So if you want, you can take your pattern piece and measure the distance where you need to fold your fabric, and then take this to the pressing station and fold your fabric along that line. But what I like to do is to take my pattern piece, fold under where I have to fold my placket, line up the pattern on top, and then I'll flip it down, and this way I can mark exactly where I need to bring the bottom edge to. So instead of drawing the actual fold line, I'm going to bring my edge to this line that I'm just marking. So this line is basically double the distance of my placket. So imagine you folded your pattern and you drew a line. So now when I take this to the pressing station, to create nice and straight edge, I can simply bring this bottom edge towards the line and press it flat. Now you can take your pocket and place the top panel on top with the right sides facing each other, just like that. Unfold the placket and line up this edge along the top edge of your zipper. So make sure your panel is centered and then clip it along that top edge. Here we go. Then you can take this to the machine and sew the seam. Again, use the seam allowance that you've added to your pattern. Make sure to be precise, otherwise when you finish constructing your pocket, your main panel will be different size than expected. If you use different seam allowance to what you've originally added to your pattern pieces, your panel will be either too short or too long. So be sure to use the correct seam allowance. Now that we have this seam stitched, we can bring our panel up. So make sure you have your folded edge folded under. Then we're going to take this to the machine and we need to top stitch along the zipper to keep everything in place. So if you want, you can top stitch from the wrong side and simply use the previous stitching line as a guideline. However, I prefer to stitch it from this side and use the edge of my zipper coil as a guideline to create nice straight top stitching. If you don't top stitch your pocket and you finish constructing your bag, then what can happen is that when you are using your pocket, this placket, this folded edge, may unfold, may be twisted and get out of shape because there is no anchor to keep this fold in place. So that's the reason why we are top stitching along that edge. Your hidden zipper pocket is now finished. Well done. All you have to do now is to follow the sewing instructions to complete your project. So I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, and I see you in the next tutorial. See you next time. Stay crafty, friends. Bye.